The lecture halls at the University of Lagos has gone quiet as the local chapter of ASUU begins an indefinite strike at both the Akoka and Idi-Araba campuses. The usual academic bustle has been replaced by tense standoff between lecturers and management. The heart of crisis lies in what the union described as amputated salary for January and February.
So what the federal government told us is that this year budget will not be approved until March thereabout, which is the month we're in. So they now ask the increment because they said that this new salary take effect from January. So this increment, the component of an academic allowance and the kata, that each institution should pay that money from their internally generated revenue, that the government will pay it back when the budget is approved. So it is now each institution that's supposed to pay those two components that has been added to our income, which is the academic N allowance or N academic AAE and academic allowance and the kata. So that's what has created problem.
However, the university management is calling the strike premature, insisting that discussions are still ongoing and that the union did not follow proper procedure before withdrawing services. Despite the union declaration, some students on campus are backing the management view that the strike is premature.
For those of us who are in our finals who want to quickly graduate, it's because ideally we're supposed to finish exam this March, or some people finish by April, and then we'll come back mid or late April for the second semester and then wrap up, say, June, July, August, right? So how long the strike will last would determine how long we are going to stay here.
But the narrative isn't as unified as it seems, even as leadership calls for total shutdown. A lecturer within the university has come forward to debunk the indefinite nature of the strike.
Internal misunderstanding that, was blown out of proportion because it is something that could have been managed in-house. And the next thing is, what's supposed to be an internal problem was escalated into the social media. And the next thing we heard is that, ASUU is on strike. ASUU is. Meanwhile, it was an internal, that was managed well. Because the moment the ASUU threatened the management called meeting and the whole issue was resolved. But meanwhile, what has gone outside had already gone outside. So the public was saying that, ASUU lecturer, our UNILAG lecturers are on strike. And people that come around the next day will see that exam, continue.
We understand the situation of the country, and lecturers today are human beings. They have bills to pay. So everybody should be treated very well because the job they do is not an easy one. So government needs to step up. The finance that they are giving them is quite small. And then if in that small finance, the little pay you are giving them, you are not now paying them as a when due, and you are cutting it. That's wickedness, so to say. So governments will need to do what they are supposed to do.
Whether the strike lasts a day or a month, the students are the ones caught in the middle, with management and the union still at odds over the matter of their salaries. The University of First Choice faces an uncertain week ahead. Sydney Okafor for the HR Anchor.